Welcome to Anna's World Wonders. Hello, my dear friends. Have you ever seen powerful dragons in movies that can control elements like fire, water, wind, and earth to unleash their powerful abilities? Have you ever heard the story of a princess being kidnapped by an evil dragon, and then a brave knight fighting against the dragon to save the beautiful princess? Do you know that in Eastern culture, dragons represent symbols of sacredness and power and bring good luck to people? Even in the famous comic, Dragon Ball Z, the dragon can grant people any wish they desire. Today, let's explore some interesting stories about dragons and how their legends differ in Eastern and Western cultures. Let's get started. Legends about dragons first appeared in Viking history, where Viking warriors carved dragon totems on their Viking ships or shields. This was because they believed they could scare off enemies and inspire warriors with the dragon totem. The bravery of Viking warriors gradually made people believe that dragons are symbols of power. In later Western legends that we often hear about, dragons are usually depicted as unfriendly creatures. In medieval Europe, dragons were portrayed as destructive monsters representing the power of destruction. Therefore, stories of warriors and dragons fighting to protect villages and people's safety using iron swords or other weapons frequently appeared in European legends. The most famous of these stories is the St. George and the Dragon from medieval Europe. It is said that an evil dragon built its nest at the water source of a village. To get water, the villagers had to sacrifice living people. One day, the beautiful princess of the village was chosen to be sacrificed. Fortunately, St. George, riding a white horse, passed by and fought a fierce battle with the evil dragon. In the end, St. George defeated the dragon, saved the princess, and the entire village. After the dragon's death, beautiful roses grow where its blood flowed, and St. George picks one and gives it to the princess. In return, the princess gives St. George a book symbolizing power and strength. Thus, April 23rd became known as St. George and the Dragon Day, and also the origin of World Book Day. But not all dragon legends in the Western world are about evil creatures. For example, in the capital city of Slovenia, Ljubljana, also known as the City of Dragons, there is a legend of a flying dragon that symbolizes justice and has helped the city's residents overcome many crises. Today, the dragon statue in the city center not only represents the guardian of Ljubljana for thousands of years, but also gives the city the nickname City of Dragons. The Dragon Bridge, which spans the Ljubljana River, is a famous landmark here. There are 4 bronze flying dragons guarding the bridge on both ends and sides, representing the protection of the city. These 4 dragons also have a legend. If a woman passes in front of them and they wag their tails, it means she is a virgin, just like some grandmothers check if their future daughters-in-law are virgins. Therefore, despite their fierce appearance, the locals jokingly call these fire-breathing dragons the final boss, mother-in-law dragons. Besides, in Western literature, dragons are often described as possessing supernatural powers and the ability to control the elements of nature, such as fire, ice, wind, and earth. Each type of dragon represents a different element and has magical powers. In addition to representing power and magic, dragons also symbolize knowledge and wisdom in some ancient Western legends. People pray to the dragon god to answer their questions and solve mysteries. Dragons have many different and interesting images in people's eyes, and they often play a crucial role in various literary works, creating many fascinating stories such as Lord of the Rings and Dragon Raja. However, in Eastern cultures, dragons are generally considered to be symbols of auspiciousness and luck. The Chinese believe that dragons can control the wind and rain, so they regard them as divine creatures. Japanese people believe that dragons are messengers of the gods and can bring good luck. In contrast to the Western culture, Eastern culture tends to view dragons in a positive light, and they are often depicted as friendly and helpful creatures. Dragons in the East are mystical creatures with special powers and long lifespans. According to legend, dragons are a mix of 4 animals: a serpent's body, fish scales, deer antlers, and eagle talons. This means that dragons can swim, fly, and even use magic spells. In ancient tales, the East Sea Dragon King was thought to be a god who could control water, so he was often depicted in water or rain. Dragons are also seen as sacred creatures with magical abilities, such as being able to transform into human form, control the weather, and bring good luck and wealth to people. In Eastern culture, dragons also symbolize supreme power. In ancient China, the emperor was called the true dragon emperor, seen as the embodiment of the dragon and held a divine status. Only the emperor and the royal family had the right to use the dragon pattern. Dragons also appear frequently in various aspects of Chinese culture. During the Spring Festival and other festive events, people dress up in dragon costumes and perform dragon dances to pray for good luck. This dance, known as the Dragon Dance, brings good fortune to performers and audiences alike. During the annual Dragon Boat Festival, people hold dragon boat races to commemorate an ancient poet who, according to legend, drowned himself in the river to express his loyalty to the country. Dragons also influence the architecture of the Eastern world. For example, some temples place dragon statues or carve dragon images on rooftops or pillars, which represent guardian deities or spirits that protect the place's safety and prosperity. Furthermore, in Chinese culture, Chinese people are accustomed to calling themselves descendants of the dragon, even making it into a song. Overall, dragons in Eastern culture have very rich symbolic meaning and interesting legends, showing people's worship and pursuit of mystical and divine powers. In general, the legend of dragons in the East and West has significant differences, reflecting the different values and thoughts of the two cultures. The Eastern dragon represents divinity and power, seen as a protector of humanity, while the Western dragon represents the power of wisdom and destruction. But regardless of whether it is the East or the West's dragon legend, it ignites people's infinite imagination and desire for exploration. Do you also have a fascination with dragon legends? If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with your family and friends. Kids Library, see you next time.